Welcome to the Unwashed Asses, episode 55, recorded Friday, September 21st, 2018. Oh, I am a fat, miserable piece of shit. There's just no two ways about it. At the heaviest I've ever been in my life, Taco Bell rolled out this delicious Crunchwrap box that I just can't avoid, and I get fatter. And I feel bad, and I eat to process my feelings, and it's just a vicious cycle, and something's got to give. My hair's a mess. I don't have a good hairstyle right now. I don't like anything about myself. My clothes all suck. Oh, it's awful. Everything's a mess. I'm just going to wear hats and drape clothes on top of myself, things that aren't really form-fitting, and just hide how fat and disgusting I am. But you can hear it. You can hear the lard as it travels through my veins and coats my vocal cords. You used to think, back in the day, if you're a little bit heavier, gave you a better singing voice. Now, not so much. Now you're just fat. Just a big old fat piece of shit.
You can hear it as I slip into my true persona of the fat man. I have a stick. I wash myself with a rag on it. I have to lift up my titties. It's so hard to breathe. It's just sleep apnea that gets me. I'm not well rested. I have no sexual drive because I haven't seen my wiener in ages. I lost it. I lost my wiener. My body has consumed it. Sucked it back in. As it does with my hair, which is receding. Oh, but it's not really receding. I just think it is, because my head's getting fat.
Oh, God. I can't do that too long. It hurts my throat. Unlike the vast amounts of food that I'm shoveling down it. Been an interesting week. I had to take Tuesday off because Monday night my body decided, hey, surprise, we're going to evacuate every orifice that you have. What is this person doing? No. I'm watching you. Don't do it. Oh. You dumb sow. So, I'm sitting in a parking lot again, the boys at school. And I get to people watch while I record this, and somebody just blocked up traffic because they didn't like the intersection they were at, so they're going to do a 3-point turnabout. Like, nope. I'm not getting on this road here. I'm going to inconvenience everybody by backing around. And I'm going to drive through the parking lot, and yep, she's taking the other exit. Is she going to go the same direction? Is she? Come on, where are you going? There's like a little crest blocking her tail lights. I can't see which direction she intends to turn. Come on. Where are you going? I want to say... Oh, she's going straight. She's not going to turn. She's just going to go straight. Heading over to the Home Goods or the Aldi's. Who knows? That's not why you're listening. You're not listening to, to hear me creep on people and watch them like birds in a park. No, so Monday night, I don't know what happened. I'm heading home. It's like 7:20. I've got a half-hour drive ahead of me. You know how when you're about to throw up or when you feel that it's coming on, you know it's coming. Your mouth starts watering. Your stomach may or may not be turning. You're getting warm. And I had 2 out of the 3. It was mostly just my mouth started watering like a fiend. And I was getting warmer. It usually indicates that, oh yeah, I'm about to have a bad time. But I had a 30-minute drive home on the interstate. And there's really no convenient points to stop off. There's only, small towns between where I was and where I had to be. So if anything, it would have been pulling over on the side of the highway there and then just puking my guts out. Like, nope, can't do that. So let's hold it together. Let's keep it together. Head on, just keep heading on home. Not even, just completely ignoring what my body's doing to me. And surprisingly, I did well enough. I think it was just sheer determination that I didn't throw up all over myself. But as soon as I got home, it's like when you gotta shit real bad, and the closer you get to a toilet, it's like your butt knows. It's like, okay, well, they're close to a shitter. Time to ramp up the intensity here to the point of, I'm not sure that I'm gonna make it. And that's exactly what I had. Like, okay, I know I'm by a place where I can empty the contents of my stomach. Stomach's like, all right, everybody out. Made it up the stairs, just set everything on the floor, hurried past Rachel, through the living room, into the bathroom, shut the door, and then intense, violent vomiting. And I've been told this in the past, as Rachel commented on once I finished. It sounds scary when I throw up, because I'm very loud. It's not like a quiet, oh, what's he doing in there? It's, oh, no. There's a little bit of sobbing. There's a lot of bit of yelling intermixed with sounds of things coming up out of my body. And it comes in spurts, and sometimes those spurts last for a very long time, to the point where I'm getting winded. I'm out of breath because I can't breathe through the torrent of fluids coming out of me. And so that proceeded to go on for some time, and with such fierce intensity that during one purge, my back popped twice, like 2 heavy, solid cracks. One right after the other, right in the middle of the back. And I'm like, oh, if I wasn't in such agony, that might have felt nice. And, oh fuck, I just shit myself. Now, I'd like to think that I have very good control over my bodily functions. But, there comes a time for everything. Not since I had been in diapers have I shit myself. I made it, what do you get out of diapers, around a year and a half, 2 years? Got out of diapers, proceeded to go the next 31, am I 33 or 34? I don't remember. I'm going to be 34. I think 34. Anywho. Yeah, I made it 31 years without having shit myself. I've only had one instance where I pissed my pants. Very shameful, and at that point vowed never to do it again. So, never crap myself. And proceed, not like, fill up my drawers, oh god, this is agony, but just enough, like, when you look at the underwear, like, okay, that's definitely shit in there, but not enough to ruin the night, assuming the night was already salvageable at this point. So that continued for a good long while, much longer than I thought. And in the time it took for me to finish vomiting and shitting myself, because that's how it goes. At that point, it's like, all right, no holds bar, you're getting it from both ends. How do you want to do this? Do you want to just lay on the floor and try and alternate between the toilet with your ass and your mouth? Or do you go with the smart man approach, sit on the toilet, just shit pure liquid like, Old Faithful, and then hold the trash can and just puke into that? Fortunately, I was able to get it under control where, okay, we're going to get all the vomiting out of the way. And then we're going to get all the shitting out of the way. And is it really shitting when it's just pure liquid? When it looks like a Nespresso commercial? Yeah, I can just imagine George Clooney sitting outside my bathroom door with that tiny coffee cup, like, come on, where's it at, buddy? I got a movie to keep filming. I need some of that sweet, sweet Nespresso. And he's going to have to wait a good long while. Because again, it took me quite some time to hit that point where, I've stopped crying. I've been able to wash my face. The chills are now seeping in. I'm not sweating anymore. I'm just sitting there shivering like a mad fuck on the toilet. It's like I'm a survivor. Like I just went through a harrowing experience. I'm sitting there in trauma and shock, trying to process everything that's happened to my body. And I'm afraid. I'm afraid it's going to happen again. And there's no rape whistle for this. It's just me sitting there, hoping against hope. So, yeah. Brush my teeth. Drink a ton of mouthwash. Not drink per se, just, slosh it around. Refill. Slosh that around. Brush your teeth. Floss out all the gunk in between the teeth. Get a shower, try to cleanse myself of the filth as the water runs in rivulets over my fleshy fat body. And just move very slowly as if I am cast before an ocean of eggshells and I must tread across them without cracking or breaking a single one, lest I summon the beast again. And there is a period where it does feel good, not the process, but afterwards, where you're all clean. This is as clean as you've been in a very, very long time. You've got some fresh, warm, cozy jammies on. You get a blanket, and then you curl up into a ball on the couch or in a chair, and you just sit there. And time and responsibility fades to the background. Is this person doing the same thing? What the fuck is with this intersection? She's not doing the 3-point turnabout. Instead, she just slammed it full on reverse and is backing up the 300 feet here. Okay, now comes the turnabout. There you go. It must just be that because you can only turn right out of this entryway or exit. Somebody else pulled up. Which way are they going? Okay, they've got their blinker on. They're content with the way that it is to go. Interesting. That's two. We're gonna keep an eye on this as things develop. Fox 6 now. We got traffic on the 5s and weather at the 8s. But no, it's kind of like what I was talking about last week, where I'm sitting in Hamburg and I'm completely isolated on the other side of the world and I have no responsibilities. And it's almost like a little slice of heaven. And that's kind of what this is here, where sitting on the couch, my body's been purged, I am clean. I'm reborn in the eyes of the Lord, essentially. And I'm sitting on a couch and I have nothing to do except concentrate on not shitting myself again. And it's that thing where you become in tune with minor things like, oh, let's go to bed. No. The bed doesn't sound comfortable. The couch sounds comfortable. I'll sleep on the couch. Because, again, I stand before the vast ocean of eggshells, not wanting to summon the beast that will come up from below and snatch me away. So, sleeping on the couch is what it was. And then, waking up in the middle of the night, shitting myself again, going to bed. And yeah, the next day it's like, I didn't even want to bother trying to drink water throughout that entire ordeal. So I woke up with a massive headache. So I was a little bit dehydrated. Back hurt, my neck still hurts. Like, okay, I know, work's just not a thing that's happening. So yeah, I took the day, and felt good for it because it was like 96 degrees out and humid as fuck. Like, alright guys, tail end of September now. Not even the middle. Tail end of September. I'm seeing a lot of green out here. Seeing a lot of high temperatures. The fuck's going on? You know, we're going to some Oktoberfest tonight. And I'm worried it's going to be too hot out. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. So yeah, just spent the day at home. Playing a lot of Warcraft. Got everything kind of taken care of for the most part that day. I wrapped it up later that week where done all the quests. I'm on world quest now. It's essentially just the end game as far as making my item level go up so I can run the harder content. And it feels good. I can now go work on my Void Elf again. The Void Elf I had fallen in love with so long ago as I slog through the old content that is fucking Northrend. And it is just painful. Painful. You know, back in the day, I thought this was, the cat's ass. There's the Northern Lights, and it's different environments, and you're gonna go fight the Lich King, and the Horde are an ever-present threat. It's not at all like Burning Crusade or Vanilla was, and it's just so fucking spread out and shitty. And I really have to applaud Blizzard for the how they've stepped things up. It's just gotten deeper and denser and richer. So now's the time. Or yeah, if you've been missing some WoW, definitely get in on it. Anywho, so that was fuck up of the week one. It was outside my control. We still can't figure it out because the only possible suspect would have been food poisoning, but it happened at 7:20 and I ate lunch at like 12, so one would think if it was food poisoning it would have hit a lot sooner. So I don't know. Don't know. The other fuck up, though, that came yesterday. And much like the fabled Louis C.K. bit of, I fucked my kid up by telling him eventually the sun's going to explode and everybody's going to die. Yeah, pretty much verbatim what happened there. I told my 4-year-old that eventually the sun's going to explode, but it's okay because everybody you know and love will have already been dead long before that happens. I don't even know how the fuck we got onto that. I've been replaying it in my head over and over again. And all I can figure is he was asking about the sun. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so he was asking where the sun went at night. Does it go to sleep? I'm like, no, the sun doesn't go to sleep. It's always there. It's just on the other side of the earth. We always have sun somewhere on the earth. He's like, oh, is the sun going to be there forever? It's like, well, no. Eventually, the sun's going to blow up. What? Well, yeah, the sun's eventually going to blow up. Well, what happens then? And this is my limited understanding of celestial bodies. Eventually, the sun's not going to be producing enough fuel, and that gravity's going to start winning the battle, and it's going to suck the little sun in tighter and tighter until eventually it goes pop and blows up. And what happens then? Well, is it going to destroy anything? It's like, yeah, it's probably going to blow up several planets, ours included. It's like, oh no! Oh, is it going to blow up? And he starts running the gamut, Is it going to blow up my school? Is it going to blow up my teacher? Yeah, to both things. And he particularly got distraught at the concept of it blowing up all soft drinks and TV. And then we circled back to the fucking Titanic. Is it going to blow up the Titanic? Well, I hate to break it to you, buddy. By the time the sun blows up, which again is billions of years away, Titanic's already going to be gone. But he can't. He's 4. I've already fucked him up enough by telling him the sun's going to blow up and it's going to destroy Earth. Now I'm trying to go back and, retread concepts we covered 2 weeks ago where, oh no, because the Titanic's been at the bottom of the ocean for so long, it will be. The salt water is eventually going to erode it, and it's not going to be anything by the time the fucking Earth blows up. So I text Rachel like, hey, I fucked up. We're on our way home, just so you're prepared. And he's on this kick where it's like, I don't know if it was kicked off by the Titanic or if it came from before that, but it really started to hit home. We're like, oh yeah, a lot of people died on the Titanic. Yeah, they did, buddy. A lot of people are going to die when the sun blows up. Yeah. Well, there's a chance it might not blow up. It could just form a black hole, which would suck in the earth and crush everything and kill everybody anyways. And it's like, but it's okay, buddy, because it's not going to happen for a really, really long time. But time is a weird concept for him. He doesn't get it yet. Where to him, like, 100 is the biggest number. And so when I explain, oh yeah, I'm not even going to live to be 100 most likely. So I'm not even worried about the sun blowing up. He's like, well, shit, does everybody know that the sun's going to blow up? I'm like, yeah. Eventually, everybody hits a point where they find this out. And I feel so bad. But on the flip side, it's like, I don't want to lie to him. Like white lies, like, oh, Santa's real and the Easter Bunny's a thing. That's fine. Whatever. That's part of growing up. But big shit, more important shit, like, oh, hey, it's not going to affect you. I'm sorry you think it does, but this is something that's going to happen. And I'm dumb because I don't realize how he can't process things like that yet. And so I got him all worked up, and now he's like, oh, I gotta tell my teacher the sun's gonna blow up. I gotta tell Nana the sun's gonna blow up. And he's worried about, like, oh, are they gonna have rocket ships for everybody? Like, because he can't understand it's so far down the road, it's not even it's a non-issue, essentially. But he doesn't get that. And so he's worried about, like, oh, he's got to get one of his sisters and Nana, and they got to find a rocket that seats 3 people. But he has to make sure he brings his toy diamond block from Minecraft. And he doesn't want me to die, but he's only worried about Nana and his sister. Oh, and he's so sweet and innocent and pure, and I feel bad, but at the same time, like, fuck me. It's one of the sweetest conversations I could have with him. And then it leads, we go back into the Titanic, and, how are we going to get the Titanic up so we can shoot it into space to save it from the Earth blowing up? And then, is trick-or-treat time coming soon? And why do we wear costumes? And, let me tell you about evil spirits. And why people give treats so they don't get tricked. Because they don't know if you're a little kid or a fucking demon. Oh my god. But he's at that age where he's inquisitive. He wants to know things. He knows he's smart, but he understands there's a lot smarter people out there. And he also has, like, these weird hang-ups where he's comparing himself to other people. Like, I'm not as strong as this other person, or you're smarter than me, Dad. And I'm like, well, it's okay, buddy. I've just been around a lot longer. And eventually you're going to hit the point where, yeah, you're going to be a shitload smarter than I am. You just got to give it time. And, don't worry about dying or anything. I'm sorry I said anything. And I wish I could just take it back. Like, no, buddy, sun's not going to blow up. Don't even worry about it. Sun's totally going to be there forever. But, he's going to come back to that when he's talking with his friends or when they start covering solar systems. Like, oh, well, my dad said the sun's going to be around forever. And it's like, well, now he's going to look like a fool in class. Whereas now he can school these fuckers and say, oh, yeah, no, sun's totally going to blow up. Best tell all your 20th generation great-grandchildren about this shit so they're ready to fucking roll. And the only way I could appease the situation is, like, because, again, he's not understanding the concept of time with it, where, like, not a fucking problem for us. It's like, don't worry, buddy. When the sun is about to blow up, we're going to have known about it for such a long time, there's going to be plenty of rocket ships to get away. Which then brings up the question, well, are there other Earths out there? Well, I'm sure there's other Earth-like planets. We haven't found one yet, but we probably will. Oh no, we gotta find another Earth, and I hope there's a pink Earth or a rainbow Earth. It's like, okay, buddy. Okay. He's so sweet. So sweet and pure. And I'm fucking ruining him. Every single time I get to see him. Just fucking destroying him. And that's the other thing too, like, so Halloween's coming, took the time, got all the decorations up, and he gets scared very, very easily. We put a paper skeleton on the front door, and it's like as cartoony as it could get. He's got a big old dumb smile on his face, and not scary at all. Just a plain white skeleton. And he's like, oh, that's creepy. Like, no, it's really not. You need to up your threshold as far as the creep factor is concerned, boy. Nope, that's creepy. Okay. But it comes back to, alright, well, last year, because I was still under the delusion that, oh, this is my child, I can do what I want, and like, I'm going to do like my parents did, and hey, you're going to be a fucking football player for Halloween this year. I don't want to be a football player. Tough shit. Alright, you're going to be this pumpkin face guy, or a robot, and I don't know, maybe I was in on it, but it just seems like, growing up the way I did, like, why didn't I want to be Batman? So, like, okay, well, I saw this really cool idea online of how to make a super easy jetpack. You know, take 2-liter bottles, you duct tape them together, put a piece of cardboard on, spray paint all silver, put a harness on, boom, fucking jetpack. Alright, awesome. I can make you a spaceman, or I can make you a fucking Titan from Destiny. Make you this amazing force of destruction and good in the universe. And so Rachel and I, we sketch out this costume and we buy all the pieces. It was way too much money for what it was, like buying all the supplies. And we cut all the cardboard up and we shape it and we craft it, and we're gluing these pieces of cardboard armor that we've painted onto. I bought him a little black like outfit that he could put on, and then we just like Velcro all the armor pieces onto it. It was gonna be really fucking badass. Except he wanted no fucking part of it. Just Niagara Falls of tears pouring down his face as we're trying to like fit this thing to him. I don't think we even saw the costume in all its glory when it was done. It was never. We finished it, but we never got to put it all the way on him because he wasn't fucking having it. And why not? Why was he not having it? Because he wanted to be a fucking cheeseburger. Ask him again this year. So what do you want to be? Because I'm not making the mistake again like, oh, you're going to be this. Here's this costume that I've labored over. Or here's this costume that I bought for you. Nope. What do you want to be? I'm not going to fight this battle. Wants to be a fucking hamburger again. This year, though, he wants a fry hat. Alright. Cool. Getting you a fucking hamburger costume. Now, Target and other stores have their Halloween stuff up, so last weekend we went and looked and couldn't find any hamburger costumes. Not a one. I found hot dog costumes for dogs. I found tacos and sushi rolls. Not a fucking hamburger to be found. Thankfully, they're available online. And I found the French fry hat with it. So then that leads in, alright, well, the fuck are we going to do? I'm not even sure I'm going to have them around Halloween or be able to trick-or-treat. But I think I'm going to commit to a Bob's Burger thing. He'll be the fucking burger. I'm going to shave in a shitty mustache, get a haircut. I'm already fat and dopey enough. I could definitely be Bob. But 30 minutes in, that's not why you're here. No. I've been promising it for a month now. A fucking month now. We're going to finish this goddamn vacation story. So picture it. Thursday, Amsterdam. the nice, cool upper 60s. Not much humidity. It's our first like full day together, my new fiance and I. And we have a whole city before us. And nothing but time on our hands. Saw the Aunt Frank house. Took a delightful train ride. But we got Amsterdam. A city filled full of pot and hookers. We're going to go find some fucking pot and hookers. No, we get up and it's like, all right, well, what are we going to do today? Like, well, there's literally a zoo right around the corner from us. Let's go to the fucking zoo. First, before we go to the zoo, because I was defeated at the McDonald's and did not get my pancakes, we had passed a breakfast shop on the way back home last night, or the night before, I should say, and it was called Mook's. It's like, oh, all they do is breakfast. It's a pancake shop. But no, I had said before how much Amsterdam is into their food, and it's all stuff you and I know and love. Pancakes, burgers, fries, waffles. Nothing, out of the ordinary. Nothing just straight up European or local to the area that we could find, aside from the plethora of pot brownies and cookies and other things. So everything we kind of wanted to do was on that straight shot, like between where our hotel was and where the Anne Frank Museum was. You had to pass right through the center of town, and it's like, all right, well, pretty much everything we could want to do is right down this strip. So, we go over to Mook's, and they advertise themselves as a, like an all-natural breakfast shop with a taste of hip-hop. So, 90s, 2000s hip-hop they've got playing, and it sounds all right. They have all natural ingredients, like the juice. The juice was by far my favorite fucking thing there. They get their locally sourced veggies. Like I got an apple juice and Rachel got a peach juice. And we'll go out back and juice their own stuff. They have their own bottles. They'll bottle it up. And holy shit, it was amazing. Oh, it was like €4, and it was the best goddamn juice I've ever had. It was so fucking good. So fucking expensive. But ridiculously fucking good. It was like I was drinking a pure apple. And apparently the peach juice was just as phenomenal. And they do, so we ordered up pancakes, and they're sugar-free and all-natural, and I got the blueberry pancakes. Now, typically the blueberry pancakes, I'm used to them being mixed in with the batter and then fried up, and they didn't do that. They made the pancakes, which were fluffy and perfect, and they dumped the blueberries on top, which were fresh, and then they had coconut shavings all over the entire thing, and pure, rich Canadian syrup, which is, Aunt Jemima ain't got nothing on that shit. It's like they tapped a fucking maple tree in their back while they're juicing, and they poured it, and they bottled it in this perfect concoction, and goddamn. I have no reservations when I say it was the best breakfast I have ever had. Yes. And that's the thing, I usually hate blueberries. I love the taste of blueberry, love the taste of strawberry, love the taste of cherries. But the actual fruits themselves, I can't eat them because they're too strong. The flavor is just like a big punch in the mouth. But this, it's like, no, I need more. Need more.
I was a shit, Larry. I ate my pancake breakfast.
And it was so filling and delightful and a perfect way to start the day. And so, it made me realize, I drink a lot of fucking, energy drinks and Starbucks, Frappuccinos and whatnot. I hadn't had any the entire time I was there. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm kind of jonesing for some coffee, but not real coffee. I need the Starbucks Frappuccino coffee. But the problem with getting like a vanilla bean frappuccino at Starbucks is there's no coffee in it. It's just vanilla, which is good. But again, with the time difference and all that, I'm still dragging a little bit of ass. So I'd like a little pick-me-up. So, pull open fucking the savior among all saviors, Google Maps. I'm like, all right, find me a fucking Starbucks. And turns out there was one, like a 10-minute walk from where we were. So, with our bellies full of pancakes, we saunter out of Mook's and thank them profusely for what they gave to us, which was a feast that shall never be forgotten. And just start walking over the bridges and canals and taking pictures and doing the touristy shit and oogling over these buildings that were built in the 1600s and just fawning over the pristine architecture and the level of detail that I've never seen in any American city. And there's a bunch of people out, tourists doing their things. And again, it's a Thursday, but again, middle of a big tourist city. It's just what it is. There's a lot of fucks out. And I'm one of those fucks, but fuck it. I'll gladly be a fucking fuck around in your fucking beautiful city. And I did. And it was amazing. And as we were walking around, they had a flea market going on. I'm like, well, shit. We have to stop at this. I hate flea markets. That is one thing you need to understand about me is growing up, my mother, my aunts, and my nana would constantly take the children. They'd gather us all together like, all right, we're hitting garage sales all day today. It was miserable. And we did it every summer. So I hate flea markets and garage sales and other thrifty things where you're paying too much money for other people's shit that they just want to get rid of. It's part of why I hate secondhand items. I digress. So this must be like a regular market for them because they had like these storage units that they would open up, set up these canopies and tents just outside of, and then hawk their wares. Really cool way of doing things. And it's a lot of things like bags and jackets and clothes and postcards, and one guy's selling computer parts, food and like comics. It's a fucking flea market. And so we're walking around, and most of it is cash only, but, you know, I made the decision, you know, I'm going to carry a little bit of cash because it's easier. So we're walking around, just soaking it all in. Find some postcards that have a noir appeal to them. I get myself a 4-pack. They're framed and on my wall now. I love it. Rachel found the fucking Achilles heel to any diet she might embark on with the stroopwafel. Picked up a few tins of that, and it was just nice to walk around. And again, it comes back to the lack of responsibility. Like, I don't have a fucking care in the world at that point except entertaining myself. And it is very entertaining walking around, you know, foreign city, browsing their wares. And we find a square dedicated to Rembrandt. And it's impossible to get a good fucking picture here because there's a bunch of fucking tourists just like myself taking pictures. So I proceed to walk right through the middle of all their shots and ruin it. And finally find Starbucks. And much like everything else, and I feel like an asshole every time I say this is the most beautiful thing I ever saw. No, the architecture is really fucking cool. It's all industrial and postmodern stuff and done really, really well. And then I find a drink that takes me away to another place. Now, my history of Starbucks is I started drinking the hot chocolate there because Starbucks had partnered with Barnes & Noble. I'd spent a lot of time in Barnes & Noble throughout college and my early 20s. And the only thing I'd get there would be the hot chocolate. Now, in summers, you can't really get a hot chocolate. So I decided to venture out and like, okay, well, I don't like coffee. How about that double chocolatey chip frappuccino? Oh, well, this is delicious. And in 2014, I discovered the vanilla bean frappuccino. My partner at the time was like, oh, well, you love vanilla. they have a Frappuccino. It's a vanilla Frappuccino. I'm like, oh, you are a godsend, bringing upon me this nectar. And that was my drink for that phase of life, I guess. Oh, person number 3 hits the intersection, doesn't like that it's going right, and slams on full reverse. Backing up. Come on, keep on backing up. Backing up and turning. There you go. So no, I entered a new phase where I like the vanilla Frappuccino drinks that you can buy in the little bottles, but there's coffee in there. And being able to stumble through my ordering process with somebody who English is their second language, but they speak it very well. Like, okay, let's read this menu here. I can get the vanilla Frappuccino, and they're like, oh, we'll pick a base. Oh, does that mean I can pick a base flavor and add another flavor to it? So I try to order a vanilla Frappuccino as the base with coffee, and they're like, well, why don't we just do a coffee Frappuccino with vanilla? Like, you fucking sold me, man. You've pitched me a wonderful idea, and I'm gonna buy. And that's now the drink of choice. It was just what I needed. Rachel said I poisoned her mouth, but to each their own. So we walk then back to the zoo, and the zoo is like many other zoos, except you can get a lot closer to the animals. There's not these 20-foot pits separating you and the lions. It's a much smaller pit, not nearly as deep and not nearly as wide. It was good times. If you've been to a zoo, you know how zoos work. Highlights include watching some penguins get their freak on, realizing that now during our time there, the idea struck upon us like, oh, what if we retired or moved here, because she has a customer base. She could very easily, just move into one of those companies. I'm a tradesman. I can work anywhere in the world. But alas, when you see that it's like 600,000 euros for a basic condo or apartment in Amsterdam, and then when we see the condos across the canal from the zoo, and like, I'd love to wake up in our condo and look out at the elephants. Maybe in the future, but got to get back to the story. The zoo is a zoo. So we had some penguins fucking. We had some chimps picking shit out of their ass and eating it and unleashing a torrential downpouring of urine. It's good times, though. Just walking through and looking at animals. Decided then that let's go check out the Royal Palace. Because there was a Royal Palace there. Apparently one of many that the Danish king and queen and their family stay in. So we head on back down to the main city square and get some tickets. And it's not a tour of the entire palace. Much like I imagine, a tour of the White House isn't the entire White House. But it's on a second floor, and it's essentially one circuit around this, just imagine a big circle, and they have little rooms that are off the circle, and you get to peek around them, and everything's like roped off, or there's glass, and you can take pictures and whatnot, but again, I'm going to feel like an asshole here, but it was the most stunning sight I've ever seen in any building, with these marble statues and rooms that could fit a 4-story building in it with ease, and just the opulence on display. It is why I can never use the word awesome to describe anything that isn't a fucking palace. Because it humbled me in a way that I've never experienced before, where I've never been in the presence of such wealth, and it wasn't done in a way that, like, clearly it's meant to impress, because it was originally a town hall and then became a royal palace, but it seemed more of a celebration of a people and its heritage, rather than just, hey, check out what I got going on because of how rich I am. It was a work of art done by many masters in their craft, and it was like in all the art museums I've been to, none compare to the dozen or so rooms I saw in the great halls. And that was just one. What was really cool, though, is they're like, okay, well, you can clearly just look at our amazing palace, but what if we tell you a story about, like, here's 5 lesser-known people that have history here, not only in Amsterdam, but in, like, this particular palace. And so they tell you about the guy who plays the bells and would do shows every Monday, and they show you paperwork from the 1500s of professional beggars that would come in, and they would keep track in notebooks of who gave them how much money. Like, oh, my farm's having a hard time. Let me go to the city and get a begging license. They had a jail door where, beggars or other criminals were stored. But when Napoleon came in and took things over, he turned it into a wine cellar. And here are the old lamps, and here's how the lamp keepers would take care of them, and just all this amazing history there. And, we had been doing a lot of walking at this point, and Rachel just decided she was going to sit, and I'm like a kid in a fucking candy shop, like, oh, let me get my fucking history on. Just walking around and reading, and then I get distracted. I seize a cable outlet. Oh boy, how does their cable work? Let me go take a peek. Now, admittedly, I'm, in comparison to other people that have been with the company or in the industry much longer than I have, I am a fucking idiot. I have only the faintest understanding of how cable and everything works, but it doesn't stop my innate curiosity. It's what got me into IT. I had a curiosity and I had a passion, and I was able to follow it. So it's a matter of me looking at, what's this cable outlet doing here? It doesn't look like ours. How does this run? And getting distracted. But I digress. The Royal Palace, though, is easily the highlight. I know how I went off on the town hall in Hamburg, and how I thought it was the most gorgeous building I had seen up until the Royal Palace in Amsterdam. So, much like anything else I've told you in this trip, if you find yourself able to go, definitely go. Now, the rest of the day, we mostly just wandered. We did want to see the red light district, and we found it wasn't so much just like Reeperbahn in Hamburg, where, oh yeah, here's definitely like a solid mile of whorehouses and sex shops. It was more intermixed. A lot of the streets in there had tiny shops where it's like, oh, here's souvenirs, here's knickknacks, here's a McDonald's, here's a local restaurant, here's a head shop. And as we got into the red light district, it started to get mixed in more and more with sex shops. And not like whorehouses per se, there were some there, but it was mostly like, go buy some toys or porn or things like that. And I don't know, it was very laid back and not at all what I was expecting. Because Amsterdam has this reputation for their red light district, and I'll be honest, that Hamburg and Reeperbahn just fucking blew it out of the water. So we just mostly wandered then, kind of taking in everything. We walked way more than we should have, to the point where it's like, all right, this just fucking sucks. I know it's a gorgeous city, but goddamn it, I'm exhausted. So we ended our day. We found the Sex Museum, which was a refreshing breath of air because that was the one thing with Amsterdam, is it all starts to look the same after you've been walking around for several hours, to the point of like, all right, this is getting kind of annoying now. Like, restaurant, head shop, sex shop, restaurant, head shop, souvenir shop, sex shop. And so being able to kind of like stop and just be focused on one thing and go through it was fun, and it was fucking hilarious in there. One of the other patrons, must have been tourists from England or Great Britain, what have you. He's like, this is funny to think about that we're all total strangers in a museum dedicated to such a taboo topic, watching people tied up and being fucked and all these fetishes and things like that, and we're all totally cool with it. Like, nobody's freaking out and nobody's blushing or going, oh my word. Just, we're fascinated by this one thing that, like, one of the few things that everybody has in common. We all love sex. But it's not a thing of, like, we're looking at it was degenerates. It's pure fascination. Because that's just what it was. There was bits of history, like, oh, here's how early pornography came about. Here's, a story about the Mata Hari or other early performers. And here's things like, oh, you like big hairy women, or you like people with big dicks, or are you into bondage? They had, like, different sections dedicated to different fetishes. And they had life-size dioramas and mannequins of sex acts, and some of them were animated where when you walk in, there's always a motion sensor by some of the sets where one guy's like, hey, over here. And this mannequin comes forward, and he opens up his trench coat, and he's got a big, fat, ugly dick underneath. Or there's a room where a puppet keeps peeing on the glass, and it was very convincing. Like, oh, there's this guy peeing on the glass in front of me. There's this big, ugly prostitute who comes out and tries to grab you, and it had kind of like a shitty haunted house vibe, except it's all dedicated to sex. But that was a load of fun, and again, it was a nice breath of fresh air to break up the monotony, I guess you'd say, of what Amsterdam has to offer in terms of its public areas. Of course, we do the typical souvenir shopping, and we stopped by a place that touted it being the world's best burger, but the service was terrible and the burger was mediocre, and I wish we could have found that initial burger place we went to. But at that point, we were just too tired and too hungry that we broke down and like, all right, fuck it, we're just going to eat here. And that was pretty much the day. We walked back to the hotel. I stopped at a grocery store and grabbed a Snickers and a gigantic bottle of Pepsi. I was like, I need something. Watched a lot of The Office on YouTube and just passed out. We packed a little bit and got ready for the next day because that was pretty much it. That was the last time we'd really have there because we had to wake up early. Took a taxi to the airport. Super friendly. Like, the cab drivers over there are just, at least the two we had, super friendly, knowledgeable folks. Made good conversation. And then we had a delightful flight back. It wasn't business class, but it didn't really have to be. Got my movies on, and it overall gives me an appreciation for how much the world has to offer, and it makes me take a step back and get perspective on the things I bitch about here, where, work's running me down, or I am haunted by past relationships, or friendships gone awry. It pulls you out of yourself. When you're forced to work with basic things like communication and feeding yourself, and your brain's trying to process this overabundance of information that's being thrown at it, and you realize, feeding into my nihilistic side, how much things don't matter, and how much it's really just a point of not overindulging yourself, but treating yourself, making sure you experience things, not getting caught in a rut where you can miss things that would otherwise happen. And we'll see how long this current mindset lasts, but it makes me think, how long I've spent depressed and, wanting to kill myself, things like that. And it makes you realize, like, while it is very self-centered and ultimately, the way I see things going, it's a thing of, I can't do it just yet. There's so much more I haven't experienced. I'm so vastly unexperienced when it comes to dealing with the world, where my entire world was pretty much the fucking Midwest, and this was just an eye-opening experience in every sense of the word, and aside from becoming a father, it's the highlight of my life, being able to travel with someone I love and get engaged and see these things with them and really just be able to finally relax and see things like, it's almost like the veil's been lifted and I can see things a little bit better for what they are. And then coming back here and realizing I sound like a pretentious asshole when I talk about it. Like, oh yes, Europe's so much better. Oh, here's what I did. And I mean it with all sincerity that if you ever find yourself with the means to, absolutely go. South Korea was similar, but not to the same level because I was being chaperoned at the time. I had a handler, so I wasn't too free to go about on my own. I had a little bit of time in the mornings and at night, but otherwise it was very much a guided experience. Whereas this, we were left to our own devices, just pick a direction and keep walking. So that's gonna fucking end it finally. 4 weeks of shows out of one trip. I feel so bad for you guys next week because I have no idea what the fuck I'm gonna talk about or why you would even keep listening. But if you do decide to keep listening and you want to keep shows coming, head over to patreon.com/0and09. Pitch in $1 or $2 a month. That's all we ask to keep things flowing here. And of course, if you want to write the show with comments, questions, replies, or just want to tell me I'm an asshole, theunwashedasses@gmail.com. Again, theunwashedasses@gmail.com. And we'll read those on the air. But otherwise, make sure to, if you're catching this on the feed today, we are going to be doing Friday Night Smite with myself, Woody, and Mezzafesto. Trying a new thing with the Diablo 3 season just starting off. So a little different than what we're used to. I'm excited for it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be telling you. That'll be over at twitch.tv/0and09, or you can catch it on the YouTube. It'll be broadcast live there. That starts off at 9 Central. Otherwise, you can always catch archives. Not that it matters. Quit talking myself down. Ugh. But otherwise, yeah, we'll be back next Friday.
I can feel the end, it's drawing near. It will soon be here. Oh, that much is clear. So shut the doors and turn off the lights. Let us sleep tonight. Let us huddle in the dark. Oh, my lover, you are beautiful, but that beauty comes at such a price. And I know that you'll soon disappear, like the dark and the night.